Without any further ado, let's jump into the first match. Take it away with our first two commentators, Leaf and Carpet.
Welcome back down to the field. We're going into week number 2 of the group stages. Myself and the Beard right beside me. How excited are you?
As they mentioned, this is one of the biggest stages for all of these teams. I mean, the placement of this weekend, of today, and tomorrow especially for this entire weekend, this could determine whether you go to the LAN or not.
Very, very important. And to start us off, we have Selfless versus Lucky Bounce. Both these teams, I mean, Selfless really fighting to try to get as many points as possible. Lucky Bounce looking to get potentially a 4-1 if they want to stay at the forefront. We have 3 teams battling, 4 teams pretty much battling right for that middle ground, you know, against iBuyPower and Kings of Urban, who are probably going to take the tops. We'll see, but these teams fighting away. Do you think Lucky Bounce can get the points they need?
I mean, I would like to hope it. Lucky Bounce is actually in contender for it. Right now, you know, it's interesting because the Selfless getting 1-4, you know, so far, that means they can still get wins off of these teams. Like that, you know, it shows a bit of inconsistency, at least from a statistical standpoint, right? They can still eke these wins off of, like, you know, they're not getting 5-0, they're not getting completely swept. So, I mean, a lot of factors can come into play. It could be attitude, it could be just a mixture of consistency, but they've got potential. I mean, I know that they got here for a reason. They're in the top 8.
Oh, of course.
But at the same time, Lucky Bounce is right there contending, and they know, like James said, they need to get that first place spot to really put a dent in this if they want to have potential, because they were not in the group stages for Qualifier 1.
Well, these teams are going to get ready. We're going to look down to it. One thing that really I noticed in those player stats before was all those assists from Lucky Bounce Darkfire there, and it seems like team play just seems to be a big important factor for them. We'll see if that can come out on top, or if Selfless can counteract that and get moving forward. But these teams jumping in already. Darkfire looks like he's going to go a little AFK there. We'll see what they're trying to figure out. They want to sub Botson. That's what they want to do. They want to sub Botson. I mean, I would too. The nerves get you sometimes.
Sometimes you just like, well, I know the bot can at least do something, right? And he won't get nervous.
Well, they're emotionless, right? So again, coming back to what I was saying before about this team play, do you think that's going to be a big factor for them, or do you think Selfless has something else up their sleeve they'll be able to counteract what looks like great team plays coming out of Lucky Bounce?
So far from what I've seen in the RLCS is group stages group plays, like playing with each other, seems to excel in a lot of this. It seems to be what excels your team, and it gets you those points. Because just taking a good shot on goal isn't going to do much against these incredible players. They can fly from anywhere to defend the ball. They don't really care their orientation. They will get there most of the time. So the idea is you want to do a passing play. You want to confuse them. Like, all right, what's coming across the net? Oh, no. Where'd this guy come from? He's taking a shot and it's going the other direction. You want to confuse him up. So the fact that Lucky Bounce is able to do that really consistently and see that Tournament has 16 shots and 16 assists, like, that's a very well-rounded player just in general. Like, that means he puts himself in good places. Cool.
Any predictions then going into this match? I didn't grab one from you before.
I mean, I'm going to have to agree with the desk here just by showing, you know, I've seen how Lucky Bounce has been playing. They've been really excelling. And Selfless, they you know, this is a matchup they really want to try and eke some points out. At this point, they're just trying to mess up other people's standings.
Once again, I swear they're trying to get the bots in there. It's I don't know why we're not letting them. Just let the bots go at it.
I would love to cast a bot match on the RLCS. Like, I've done it as a joke once or twice. I think it would be a blast just to watch bots that don't know how to use boost.
Hey, those
just going at it.
Hey, sometimes they can get some pretty good plays going and they throw you off. It adds to that hype levels, right? But again, I guess back to the actual teams playing. Selfless, Lucky Bounce. You said you're going on that 4-1. Do you think Selfless is going into this thinking that's a possibility as well?
I'd like to hope so. I mean, I've seen Selfless pull off some really cool stuff. I mean, Matt says A-Money, they're all very high-skilled players. You know, A-Money, I remember watching him when he was a very talented 1v1 player. I mean, he still is, but, you know, he's very good mechanically. And then Matt and Sis have been playing together for as long as I can remember. I used to run into them all the time in the ladder. So just overall, I know these guys can pull it off. It's just a matter of doing it consistently and against high-level teams. It's doing it against a team that's always going to contest. It's doing it against a team that's always going to be there. That's the tough part.
Yeah, and that's something we see actually some teams forget about. I mean, we've seen that before with when they wouldn't put Doomsy in over on the EU side of things. You know, they were playing great. They're playing against these, you know, some lower ranked teams. Say, hey, we're playing fine, we're playing great, and they don't put in a player maybe they should. And you see once they get to these top 8 teams start to fizzle out, because it's a different game once you get to this top level.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the pace is just incredible. Like, the pace is so fast. You have to keep up with everything. You're getting contested by every ball. You need to just, your mind needs to be predicting everything by at least 1 or 2 touches. You need to know where your team are, a lot of map awareness, and it's got to be constant.
Well, it looks like third time is finally the charm as Selfless and Lucky Bounce get underway in this series of 5. So you can get the first one off. Both teams finally going to feel it out as we get momentum started up. The third time they're already into blue end. Torment's going to have to keep this out, but it puts it in front of the net. That's a bad spot. A-Money taking advantage for the first goal.
It looks like Lucky Bounce took a little too long to get back on defense. Torment went for the corner, tried to touch it. At that point, he might have been better off waiting in the net, trying to get a better touch. That bounce is not at all what he expected, went right over him. No one to take his place. A-Money had a pretty easy shot. He came in and sunk it in.
And there it is. One thing I noticed, A-Money generally with that Octane, now he's rocking out that breakout, which is great to see some car switch ups. Maybe that'll be the change they need. A-Money with a touch across, but a shot from Darkfire. Going to be stopped from Matt and A-Money. Now they're going to try to get it out, but they can't. Lucky Bounce putting the pressure on, trying to even up the score. See if they can move it in. Timothy taking place there. Darkfire out. Torment is going to try to get off the wall. Misses that. That's in front of the net. That's going to be shot. Matt just a little bit over the net. Timothy going to recuperate on defense there. It's a good touch to send it right back down into Selfless's end. Now they can start another attack. Almost stopped just past Sizz there. Can he keep it moving forward? He can't. Matt steals it away. Sizz with a good touch. That aftershock flying through the air like the jet plane it is. But doesn't go deep enough into Lucky Bounce's end. And now they have another chance for a shot. Darkfire finding a spot in the back of the net.
Darkfire came and snuck this in. I don't think anyone on the defense was prepared for him to find this hole. A-Money pushed it off to the side while another defender had actually gone up. One of them should have stayed down, most likely. At that point, you're leaving a net kind of open. Darkfire sees his opportunity. He waited for the bounce shot. He took that off the ground, just a bullet to the net.
Minute of gameplay has passed us by, and we are tied up. So we're at the beginning, 1-1 for both teams. Darkfire going to win on that, but good stuff from Sizz. That's back off the backboard. Matt pushing it to the side, keeps any play from developing for Lucky Bounce, but the pressure is on. Timothy almost getting a nose off the Batman on that one, but now Sizz missing it as well. It's going to allow Lucky Bounce to keep that in the orange end. We'll see if they can get a shot off. Timothy to the far side. It's going to miss. Sizz is going to let that bounce off the wall and try to take control, but Darkfire there to challenge Torment with a shot on net, blocked out by Matt. Now we're going to keep the pressure on from Lucky Bounce as they keep an onslaught. Finally a breakout for Selfless. Can they get a goal themselves?
Notice how Lucky Bounce is putting a lot of pressure on in Selfless's half, but they were finally able to get a 1-2 touch out and put some pressure and counterattack.
Oh! Timothy just gets back in time. That was very, very close for Lucky Bounce. Almost gave a quick goal for them. They're only in there for about a second and already a shot coming off. Here's A-Money with another pass off the backboard. It's going to drop down dangerously, and Matt squeezes that one right in there.
Great placement from A-Money, putting it in that little death corner. It reminds me a lot of like the racquetball death balls where it just hits the corner and just dies straight down. Comes straight in front of the net. Matt able to get there before any blue defender was. Those are so difficult to be ready for on defense.
Selfless up 2-1. Still 3 minutes left. Lots of time for Lucky Bounce to get another one themselves and get the equalizer. They're going to try to do that now as they're moving into Selfless's end. Shot needs to come out. Darkfire putting it on A-Money. Tries to get the side flip on, but couldn't get there in time.
A-Money was caught in a tough place. He had someone coming at him. He tried to pre-jump, tried to get ready for a hard bullet shot. But in a situation like this, when he's got a full net to shoot on, you might want to wait just that extra half second. You get a little antsy. I've seen a lot of players pull it off. There's really not a whole lot he could have done. Someone should have been contesting that in midfield.
Yeah, it's a difficult spot to be in that you don't want to leave your teammates to. And now we have a tied game once again. Very, very quick answers coming out of Lucky Bounce now to see if they can take the lead instead of trailing behind on game number 1. Torment trying to get the pinch. That goes in no one's favor, really. We're going to see who gets control of this first. Torment tries to get it past the Darkfire, just waiting patiently. Here's his opportunity, and he sinks it, finally in the lead.
These miscommunication, defensive mishaps are not the kind of things that are going to keep them in this lead. Torment taps it over the side, and we saw both Matt and A-Money go for it. A-Money actually sweeps Matt out. He should have let the person take it from net. He had a better angle. A-Money would have been crossing in front of net, would have been a little dangerous. Matt had a decent touch to the corner, but it ended up resulting in a goal for Lucky Bounce.
Darkfire had all the time of the day to get that one in. Now he's another chance to get that out for his teammates, but that's going to be a bad bounce off for him. But he does contest it still to keep that in that end, and that's going to be a dangerous spot. Darkfire just keeping control, moves it over for Torment. Torment's going to get this off the wall, keeps control, tries to get a slow roller, but gets stolen away. Now Matt has a chance to go on net. One defender to beat. Darkfire does get a Dominus nose on that to push it to the side. Sizz grabbing the boost, going to pass out. Darkfire almost steals it away, but that goes past everybody to midfield. Timothy just going to take out that defender. Very good play. Now we're going to see if Darkfire can get a play set up on the offense, get a ball out in front of the slot, and get another goal to extend their lead as Selfless tries to defend this and get it out of their end. A-Money backwards, just tries to get up for Sizz. Does get another block on. Now Sizz has a chance to go up. He wins out that 50-50 in the air. Torment Good nose touch to push back to midfield. And now an attack from Selfless. Can they do this? Very, very dangerous spot for Darkfire. And that one's going to be N2. Equalize it again.
I think Darkfire may have gotten caught on the corner here. We had a good counterattack from Selfless. They had just come from being attacked on. Darkfire, he did smack that post. He just slightly misjudged where that ball was going to go. But as that last defender, you know, patience is key. You want to wait for that moment. But with the pressure coming on, he hit the post and ended up being a wide open net for Selfless, tying it up.
Neutral 50-50 there. We'll see if Torment can get a play started up. He does, off the wall, can get a second touch. Couldn't get it off the roof of Sizz. Sizz use that for Matt. Matt to Sizz. Sizz off the wall, gets almost a second touch. Now Darkfire has control. His lucky bounce, that move is down the field. Contested at midfield, Selfless. Trying to get a lead themselves. Sizz almost on net. Torment has possession now, but that shot, the steal from A-Money, that was a rocket and a half.
He came in, I believe, it looks like he might have pinched it off the defender. Matt crossed it over the net. That was almost a 1-2 play by Sizz, but once Torment was coming out, no one came to replace him in net, and that's kind of key. When someone's progressing out of net, you need to take his place, especially if it's in your half, because anything, especially like that, can happen.
A-Money using the side of his opponent's car to put one in. Now they're up. 1 minute left. Torment wins on the 50-50. We're going to see if Lucky Bounce can bring this one back. They're going to have to get a hustle on if they want to at least tie this one. Timothy loses out on that one. Darkfire has to recuperate. Torment leaves it, or gets it instead. Off the wall, Darkfire to support. Timothy was trying to get up for that. Sizz intercepts. Off the wall is Darkfire. Now an attack from Lucky Bounce. 40 seconds left, and here could be an opportunity with a potential open net. A-Money does clean that up. His teammates missing a couple whiffs on that. Torment off the wall. A-Money pushes it to midfield. Good touch from A-Money. Very solid hit. Now Timothy just has to collect that one up, but he can't. His team losing possession. That's going to roll down in a dangerous spot for them. Darkfire just keep it to the side. Timothy going to try to get in the way. That's up front. The shot from Matt, and they extend their lead 20 seconds and 2 goals down.
What a great way to take advantage of this situation. Darkfire was forced to have to put it off the wall. It bounced perfectly. A-Money reacted actually very quickly to that. I was very impressed. Put it over the net, and Matt was even like just as ready for his pass. Both of those very quick reaction plays, able to bring us to a 2-point lead.
And I mentioned passes before, and now it looks like Selfless is coming out super strong. You've seen every team member doing everything they can to get those balls to each other. 13 seconds left. Lucky Bounce has to break out and get a goal right now. This could be their opportunity. Off the wall, Timothy a little bit behind that one, maybe out of boost. He's going to lose out on that. Couldn't challenge that, but that's out front, and the net. Darkfire puts it in with 2 seconds left. Still a possibility.
They do have a chance. We saw so many 0-point goals last time. I remember like my heart was passed. Like I couldn't do it. But here's the passing plays we look at. Torment off that sidewall right to Darkfire. Torment getting those assists like we saw, and still with shots earlier this game. It's, you know, their passing plays are quick and they're so hard to block.
They need to get it lifted up here. He does. Torment. That's going to go off the wall. Can he keep it alive? That's out front. Timothy off the backboard. Someone needs to be there for that, and that could be a shot on net. No, they leave it in. Darkfire finishes it up. Oh my goodness, that was on the ground.
I cannot believe that stayed so far in the middle. No one came out to contest on the side of Selfless. This went in net. I cannot believe Darkfire got there in time. Incredible 0-second goal, bringing this first game into overtime.
I did not expect that. We said it's possible, but we didn't think it was that possible. Lucky Bounce with the clutch 0-second goal. Let's see if they can win this one now, but that's going to be shot on net. Almost finishing early with Selfless. They're putting the pressure on. Torment finally pushing it back to midfield. Timothy, now he has a teammate out front. Can he get the pass? Matt intercepts that one. Darkfire off the corner. This could be a bad situation for Selfless. Sizz does get a nice touch though. Going to follow it up. Very good moves from him to keep the pressure on in the air, but Torment does steal that away off the ground. Out front, A-Money keeps it away from the slot. We'll see if Lucky Bounce can put another incredible tack on, or if Selfless is going to get one 30 seconds into this overtime. Torment in the air challenging that, but A-Money puts it right back. Ping pong, Matt and Timothy with a 50-50. Matt going to follow it up. Matt's going to be in front of the net. Torment will have control. Good touch from Torment to keep that away from the center, but that's back on target. Torment, thankfully for Lucky Bounce, was back for that. Timothy now off the wall. This could be a good spot for them. A-Money, very good touch, very quick to get to the ball. There's A-Money in this game. Both teams trying so hard, and all of a sudden awake. All of a sudden awake, it seems.
They want to make sure they have this, and they're also being a little timid here and there, which isn't a bad idea. They want to make sure they have somebody back. They're being very conscious of their rotations, which in an overtime situation is something you really need to do.
Very, very true, but this is a bad situation. This could be it for Selfless, but a little bit wide. That's still on target. Torment has to rush back now as Matt was rushing up on that. The contest in nobody's favor. Timothy up in the air, but a little bit wide of that. He's not going to be able to get a touch. Darkfire gets it instead, but loses out on the 50-50. Torment the last one back. This is a bad situation. Timothy rushing to make sure that no shot on net. Oh my goodness, Darkfire in a bad spot as well as Timothy. Matt puts that way wide as Selfless making an attack on that blue net. We'll see if they can get a goal in here. This could be a shot for them on target, but blocked out by Timothy, leaving Matt on the backtrack. Needs to contest this one, so no shot comes out. Timothy was on that. Darkfire off the wall. Gonna drop in front of the net. Sizz misses out on that. This could be a shot from a third in. There it is, off the backboard, but a little bit too late. Puts that in a bad spot. Now off the backboard. We'll see if a shot can come out. Lucky Bounce the far side. Torment couldn't quite sink it in, just off the post.
Selfless is making some defensive mistakes, but Lucky Bounce hasn't been capitalizing. I've seen many situations where two Selfless players will go for a save, one from in net, one from behind it, and then they're both not really making it to the ball in time.
Oh, this could be a bad spot. No defenders in net, off the backboard. Another one in. The stuff Timothy can finish this. Sizz just gets it out of the slot and just keeps them alive. 2.5 minutes of overtime. These teams, good bump. That's going towards the net, but A-Money does gain control. The pressure on from Lucky Bounce. A shot on net, but the save from Sizz. This is incredible pressure from Lucky Bounce, but insane defensive plays from Selfless.
It's got to be a scary position, though. While their defense is incredible, eventually one tiny mistake will result in a goal, so they need to make sure they bring the pressure onto their side. They've had some good opportunities. They've obviously scored as many goals as Lucky Bounce, so Selfless needs to make sure that they can turn their defense back into offense.
Sizz playing very aggressive, takes out an opponent and a teammate, but finally they move back to midfield. Matt and Sizz rushing hard on that one. Darkfire, good bounce off the wall, but A-Money steals it away. Let's see. Oh, that's rushing through Torment. Good patience on him to make sure that he's that last defender to stop that one. That was very close to going in. It's a Lucky Bounce net, but now they're finally back on the attack. Off the wall, Darkfire with control. This could be a shot. Oh, Timothy gets blocked out by two defenders. Now Sizz and Matt on the move forward. Off the backboard, we'll see if they can capitalize on this. No, Torment gets a good touch. Darkfire to follow it up, but he misses. Torment, last defender back, Timothy. A-Money is there to challenge this. Could be a bad situation. Timothy reads the right bounce off the backboard, gets it back to midfield, but Matt throws it right back in. Ping pong to midfield. Darkfire rolling that over, two attackers, one defender left. Sizz is there. Can he get it past? 1v1 situation, passes it out to the center, but there's A-Money to push it to the side.
Now Selfless is leaving somebody a little further out on defense to try and block those wide passing plays, which is really smart. Somebody was sitting kind of in the middle of their half, getting ready for that wide pass that pulls it away from the goalie, which is usually really difficult to block. But if you have someone getting in the way early, you don't have to worry about a shot.
Sizz with a shot on net, that's it! He finishes it! A defender was there, but he couldn't stop it. 4:04 overtime.
This patience from Sizz, he waits for the bounce, waits for a good opportunity, gets up underneath it and puts it high in the net, forcing that defender to try and do a quick neutral jump, get the boost up there, and he wasn't able to make it. What an incredible showing from both of these teams.
That was insane. That was super close, like the closest it could have possibly been. At all.
Was it a 2-second, 2-goal comeback from Lucky Bounce?
Yes.
They scored one goal with 2 or 3 seconds left, and then they ended up getting a 0-second goal after it floated around for like 6 seconds after the counter went out.
I honestly thought that was on the ground. That looked like it had touched, and then there's Darkfire swooping in to put it in at 0 seconds to put it into overtime. What?
Both of these teams showed what they're good at in this game. We saw the great passing plays coming out of Lucky Bounce. Sometimes it fell through a little bit, which is why they had a little bit difficulty scoring sometimes. But, Selfless, they had incredible defense. Like we saw a lot of saves from A-Money. It could be a tactic. Maybe they enjoy kind of waiting for the counterattacks. They kind of want they believe in their defense, so they get the saves. They can turn it into an offensive position. There's a lot of things that turn into what happens in a game, whether it's a win or score. But, they pulled ahead after, what is that, a 4-minute overtime?
Yeah, 4:04.
Almost in another entire game's worth of overtime.
That was a full game. Yeah, and it's actually kind of cool that you point that out. We saw on the player stats before, A-Money, lots of saves, and we're mentioning maybe it's not such a good spot to be in having that many saves, but it's working out for them.
Yeah.
As they take away game number 1 against Lucky Bounce. That was incredible. Do you think we're going to see something that close this one?
I really hope so. I hope both these teams are just coming at it as hard as they can. I just saw Darkfire with 9 shots on goal in one single game. He's always where he needs to be. He's got great positioning.
Darkfire is a beast.
Either way, this game's going to be just as exciting as the first one.
Game number 2, Lucky Bounce, Selfless. First game going into a 4-minute and 4-second overtime. See if that happens again. Longest series of the day. We'll see that, but A-Money now has a shot on net. Off the backboard, Sizz to finish it. Oh, just missing. That tuck away in the top corner. Couldn't quite finish it off, and now it's going to leave Torment to try to create an attack himself, but bad spot for defense as Matt is up in the air. Darkfire does steal it away, though, in front of the net. Just a chance for Lucky Bounce to move it down the field. Darkfire with control, very good stoppage on that one. Throws that on target, almost in. Torment trying to finish it, but Sizz keeps it away. Timothy trying to get a nose to drop that back into the slot. Darkfire rushing back to get some boost as he sees an attack coming up, but there's Torment to stop that Selfless advance. And there's a shot on net. Sizz just gets a stop on the crossbar, still a bad spot. There's Matt to finish it off.
Sizz, incredible save, getting just underneath that ball just in time. I thought he wasn't going to be able to make it there, but there he was up underneath the ball, using his neutral double jump, popping that into the post, and thankfully a teammate was able to come and swoop it away.
Darkfire keeping the pressure on out front, but that's a little bit too fast for that third in. See now if A-Money can start an attack, chasing that one through the air. Gonna get the second touch, gonna get the third touch out front. That's a good pass. Matt, though, a little bit wide. Darkfire takes control off the ball. Now he's gonna try one himself. He does get the pass out, but it went right to Sizz instead. Wrong teammate to pass it to. Torment stopping that in its tracks, but right back to midfield. Darkfire up as well. As you said, being where he needs to be. He's gonna leave that one for Torment, as both Timothy and him go up for that. Could be a bad spot, as Darkfire's gonna have to wait back now and can't put the pressure on himself. And there's Selfless moving down into that blue end as Darkfire keeps it away.
A little more open, slow plays. Maybe they still have jitters from that last insane game. We don't see as many quick touches. They're not following through with their own touches. It's kind of getting a little bit of ping-pongy back and forth. What?
Whoa, okay, there's a long shot.
It's looking like somebody went back for boost on Selfless's side. A-Money went, he had to go for that touch. Actually, no, it's hard to say. Matt had a hard time getting back. Both A-Money and Sizz went for that touch. Neither of them really got a good touch, like a good hit on it. They weren't able to put it out, and it just left their net wide open.
And that's going to be one up for Lucky Bounce. Game number 2, they take the lead. Almost 2 minutes of gameplay have gone by before we saw the first goal in this one. We'll see, though, if Selfless can tie this one up. There's A-Money upside down with a shot on target, but an easy save for Timothy. Torment just keeping that ball moving forward. Sizz now having to recuperate. Good touch, keep that away from Torment. There's a pass potential up front, just misses on the nose though. Matt's gonna be able to take that back down into Lucky Bounce's end. See if they can create the attack on. Torment demoing Matt to stop that advance. Now he has to push this to the side. Darkfire to follow it up, but that got contested by A-Money. Almost on target there. Sizz, just puts that back off the backboard, trying to maybe sink that one in, but a little bit far for Matt to get the pass. Now A-Money back out to Matt. Can Matt get that on? No, Torment's going to clear that one down the field.
Defensive placement is key when you're trying to get out of your half. Take a look at when a lot of times you want to push it to the corner because it's the safer bet, and usually that's always a good place to do.
Ooh, Sizz, good touch, but no one to follow it up.
Sometimes you'll see them clear it out into the center, which is okay if you have someone to follow it up. But if you don't have anyone to follow it up and you center it on your own half, all you're doing is just waiting to have to block a shot. So you got to be careful with your placements. Take a look at where your opponents are before you try and take a defensive touch.
Sizz has control of this. The flick on the back of the net. Timothy does get a touch, but still a bad spot. Torment is going to have to clear it away. Nice awareness of where that shot was coming from to get that push to the side. We'll see if they can make an attack on. Torment to Darkfire. Darkfire to finish it. He does get the touch. Just gets a flip on.
Just in time, this exact awareness. Darkfire coming from the side. He tried to get that touch, and he reads it. He sees Torment's going to get a touch. So Darkfire tries to get there. I can't tell if he was almost at a boost.
I think that was a no boost situation.
I think he had maybe like 5 or 6 because we saw a little bit of lightning eke out of the back of his car.
Just at the last second.
But not much. He had to use the front flip to speed himself up. But either way, great awareness from that team.
Timothy just keeping control of this, pushing aside as he saw Sizz making an advance. That's going to go in front of the net. Bad spot. Timothy has to get a touch, and he does. A-Money, the good rotation, moves that back forward, gets bumped out there, leaves it for Sizz. Sizz moves it back off the backboard. Not the angle he wanted, but A-Money was there to collect it. Stuffed out, though, by Lucky Bounce's defense. As they're trying to make an attack, a little bit slow on the attack. Sizz, a little bit tired in the corner, it looks like. Maybe he's out of boost.
Taking a
but that's
breather.
going to be on net, and they still score without Sizz.
Instead of going off the sidewall, I don't know if this is it seemed to be a very fortunate bounce between Timothy and A-Money. It pinches off that sidewall, goes towards the net. No one rotated back. I think they maybe saw that Sizz wasn't moving. They thought they had a 2v3 situation, had a little bit of patience. But again, when it's in your half...
Maybe that's the mind games.
Right, it could be. But when it's in your half, you need to be aware that any shot can really go on net from your half.
And there's Selfless proving that as they finally get a goal. Only 1 goal deficit coming in the final minute of gameplay. You want to be as close as possible if you're down the final minute especially. So you have to make some crazy rushes. Matt landing in just the right spot for that, but gets taken out by Darkfire. Good body play on that. Leaves Torment a chance to push that in front of the net, but Sizz is there. Defense very strong right now from Selfless. No balls getting into the slot. No offensive opportunities for Lucky Bounce as finally Selfless pushes that back down into the other end. See if they can get a play started up. Good pass out to the center, but A-Money a little dragging behind on that one. Can't get up front. Sizz and A-Money both up. Sizz getting a demo on Darkfire, but they still managed to move out of their own end. But Sizz And Matt moving back in, drops it low. Both of those guys read that one, but now only one defender. Darkfire left to take control of this, and he does. Good control from him. Pushes back to midfield as Lucky Bounce tries to make an attack. Just tries to stay alive for the last 20 seconds as Selfless tries to tie this one up. We'll see if they can do it. 15 seconds, a shot, way wide. Off the backboard, there's a shot going off the backboard again. Sizz and A-Money there for that, but Torment keeps that one aside, beating them to it. Matt back on target, that's on target. Oh my goodness, someone says to put this in. Almost a goal for Selfless. But Lucky Bounce just barely keeping it out. They're still trying, that's up the wall, that is still alive, but moving the wrong way for Selfless. So it looks like this ball is gonna touch the ground right here. And Lucky Bounce takes game number 2. That was close.
That was an incredible last opportunity shot from Matt. He managed to get the angle, put it into the corner. I don't remember if it was Torment or Darkfire. Somebody got just underneath that. But that's that awareness of knowing like, uh-oh, I think this guy has a shot. Like at this high level, you can see a player going for a ball and you know if he's going to have a shot or not. Like you can tell by their angle. And a lot of times the ones that you don't think they have a shot and then they put one on are the ones that catch you off guard. But he saw that he had that angle. He knew no one was in net. He had to get there quick. But that's exactly the reason. Like he had to defend that from a really bad position. If all three of them were kind of clumped up and no one went back to net, and that's a big key of having that tight defensive rotations. Once you see someone come out of net, you need to be replaced as quickly as possible because then you're in a better position to get a really hard hit. When you have to make a really soft, weird defensive touch, thank God he had a teammate there to help clear it out as well right after.
Yeah.
But that could have been a time situation. Yeah.
But I mean, we see both teams very even on the shots, very 100% even on the saves. Both teams are playing very, very close. The scores are showing that as well. It did feel like at the beginning maybe Selfless was on the backtrack, but they did pull forward. They started to make it even without Sizz there. They still managed to get a goal. Maybe they'll stick to that to the next one. Just 2v3 them. That's their strats now.
He was back right after kickoff, so it could have been a small technical difficulty. But either way, you know,
controller unplugged. That happened so many times.
But this is exactly what I was talking about. I mean, I know that Selfless has the capabilities. It's just a matter of consistently pulling off what I know they can do.
Well, we'll see in game number 3 who's going to take it away. Lucky Bounce winning that last one. Game 3, it's a series of 5. We're going to play all of these matches as every win matters in this. We head down to Beckwith Park. Nice and peaceful. Hear the birds. See if that has an effect on any of the players. A calm, soothing effect. Both teams tied up. Game number 3, so you can pull ahead in the lead. Touch back from Lucky Bounce into their own end. Torment missing on that, but A-Money not getting the touch he wanted. Sizz finally clearing that off the backboard. We'll see if someone can pressure this.
It's forcing them to have to defensively rotate. It's keeping them out of boost. It's keeping them on the back foot, and it's overall just building pressure.
Well, it's a tough thing if you're stuck and keeping it at midfield, but if you're not in control, you only have two boosts to deal with. Torment trying to control. Matt does steal that away. Sizz with a block. A-Money a little bit out of spot for that one. They get a little bit of a pinch, though, to push it to the far side. May give them some time to move in. They can't. Darkfire. Good touch off the wall. There's Timothy putting that on target. Sizz steals it away on the floor, rolls it up the wall. Let's see if he can get a touch. He can't. Torment beating him to it. 50-50 is now coming out in favor of Lucky Bounce as they're starting to move slowly towards that Selfless net. See if they can get a shot off. That's all they need. Final minute of gameplay. Both teams tied up. Maybe we're going to see another overtime situation or someone can pull away with a goal right here in front. Sizz, good touch to midfield. If they can make this advance, could be a scoring opportunity. There's a shot from Sizz on target. Darkfire just making it back in time. 50 seconds left. Now Lucky Bounce on the attack, but they lose control. Matt, maybe not the touch he wanted, but at least time to recuperate.
Even on defense, you see these teams are not like all sitting back. I just saw Selfless was actually, they had one person in net. A-Money was actually cheating up at midfield, getting ready for a toe.
Oh no, the miss from the defense, and Darkfire squeezes it in.
This is where even one tiny mistake can result in a goal. Someone tried to take that off the back wall. Matt tried to jump up and pop that. It looks like he just barely didn't do it, but no one had come in a net to replace him. Again, we've seen it happen a few times so far in this series, where as soon as someone comes out of net, you really need to replace him because there's a chance that either he'll miss or he'll get contested. Could be a 50-50. You never know, and it ended up in another wide open net.
30 seconds left. A-Money trying to get that ball in. There's Matt just to put it back to A-Money. A-Money losing out on that one. Back down into Selfless's end. Sizz needs to get a control. He does. But Darkfire on a super wide rotation puts that right back into their end. 18 seconds left. A goal down. Selfless has to get one very, very quickly. They want to feel confident going into an overtime where the last 10 seconds, we'll see if they can do it off the wall. Someone needs to challenge this right away. There's Torment, though, to put it right back in. Not looking good for Selfless. Can they finally push it forward? A-Money off the wall. Bad bounce for Selfless, and that is going to drop. And there's Lucky Bounce taking game at number 3 to put them up 2-1 in the series.
They're 2-1 in the series so far. They're going-ish on the predictions. You know, I think what was predicted is going to be 4-1 in favor of Lucky Bounce, but Selfless has been fighting tooth and nail to stay in this. I mean, between that 4-minute overtime game, every single game has been pretty close. They're putting up a fight for it. It's sad that, sometimes these kind of game-ending goals have been a small, tiny mistake, where we had a little defensive mistake towards the last 30 seconds, which let Lucky Bounce put that goal in, making it 3-2. It's just that, it's all it takes.
It's one thing. Well, I mean, at this level, you have teams that are so good at what they do, and especially you have some other teams that are considered even better that you still have to come up against later on. Those mistakes have to go away, because if they're already resulting in goals at this point, it's not going to be good for you later on.
Yeah, and there's a key, why does that happen, right, on defense? Why would some teams be out of position? I mean, there's so many factors that come into play. It could be bumps that you can't see. A lot of times it's boost. Well, generally, when you're an aggressive team, you're going to take all the boost you can on your way out after you've taken a shot. So when you're going from their half and you're rotating back, trying to get ready for another shot, you're going to sweep as much boost as you can out. So then that defensive team is actually going to be lacking boost. They're not going to have as much as they're not going to be able to get those big corner boosts. They're not going to get the ones. And that's honestly why sometimes they'll go out of position 1 second earlier to hopefully sneak one more boost out, and then that's when open nets can sometimes happen.
Well, we have another game. All of these so close. I'm not quite believing in that 4-1 anymore. I'm thinking a 3-2, and I'm not sure which way it's actually going to go.
Yeah, I've got high hopes, but either way, these games have been some of the more exciting games I've seen in a long time. So close. Both these teams really going at it.
Darkfire and Matt trying to fight over that one, but Matt, oh no, Sizz takes it out away from him. Almost putting that in off the crossbar, an early goal, almost coming out for Selfless. We'll see now if they can turn it around and Lucky Bounce get one themselves. Touch out to a teammate. Sizz there to challenge it. Torment a little bit behind on that. Darkfire going to leave that for Matt off the wall. Instead, it gets the touch there. There's Torment to midfield. A-Money just keeping that at bay as his teammate recuperates. There's A-Money putting it out for a teammate, but almost a bad spot. Sizz barely made that in before Darkfire, as Lucky Bounce trying desperately, very wide rotations, trying to put a shot on net. There's a way wide pass, probably not going to result in anything, as now Selfless has a chance to move out, but A-Money misses. Once again, a lot of wide passes.
So far, it's interesting. Selfless always has really quick kickoff control in the beginning of these games. They always get one really good shot off the bat, and then Lucky Bounce starts to gain control. They have a little bit of time. They start to really put the pressure on, push into the opponent's half, and keep it there. That's what they seem to be excelling at, is keeping it in Selfless's half and forcing them into making a lot of defensive touches.
We'll see now if they can get the move out. Timothy, the last one back, but A-Money steals it away. If he gets on this, that could be a win against Darkfire. Oh, Darkfire does stuff that one back to midfield. Matt and Sizz on the move forward, though. A-Money hanging way back in case that ended up going where it did. Good call on him, but couldn't get that away from Timothy again. Now Darkfire in a weird spot. Gonna leave Matt to move that up. A-Money going for some boost steals. It's gonna leave Torment with not many options. That's in front of the net. Matt trying to squeeze that in the bottom corner, as Selfless now making a lot of attacks, and we'll see if they can keep this up. The drop down from Timothy. Darkfire now taking control, but Matt steals it right back to midfield. And there's A-Money, 2 defenders. Good stuff from one of them.
Both teams are a little antsy right now in defense. They're not able to really keep control of the ball. They're getting the clear. One person's chasing it down, then they're getting contested, and it's just right back into the opponent's half. I mean, this is when you see awkward goals from the corner squeak in. This is when someone doesn't get in the net just in time. They're not really keeping control at the moment, and
Batman
it's still 0-0 game.
Oh, Darkfire, I don't know where he was going. I feel like he could have gotten up for a shot off of that, but now it's still 0-0, because they had an opportunity to make. Torment can get another one. That's on target, but Matt does get a nose. Let's see if they can now move it down to the other field. Halfway through this game, no goals. Darkfire trying to put that to the short side, but does get barely stuffed out. And Matt just annihilated Timothy.
Not letting him get that back up shot. He wanted to pop that off the sidewall.
Oh, almost on target. Timothy does push that to the side. Darkfire missing that move forward, though. It's going to allow a back pass from Sizz to Matt. Matt way wide on that one. That's going to get Torment back off the backboard. Can he follow it up himself? Sizz just keeps it away. The pinch going in their favor. Now Timothy off the backboard. Matt missing that one. Shot from Torment. Back to Timothy. Timothy putting it out front, but it looked like Torment had left the situation, and Sizz moves it out.
I don't think he was fully prepared for Timothy to get that second touch. It's scary for Darkfire.
Sizz, though, doesn't get control, but A-Money on target, way too soft to roll in. We still see 0 goals with 1:40 left. Bad spot for Lucky Bounce, as it almost goes in, but Darkfire finally getting control. The flick on, but stuffed out by Matt.
A little bit of hectic defense, everything pretty much. Hectic defense and offense happening right in front of Lucky Bounce's goal. We saw Timothy having to recover a little too long. The ball just slowly rolling in front of net, no one taking those shots. And those are those plays you try and have to read really quickly. Sometimes you might have to put yourself out of position, but if you notice something's off, a player's not in the right place, or he's bumbling around in the net, you want to try and be there. It's very hard to do at a high-paced level like this, though.
That out front, Sizz does get a nose. Torment was trying for that. There's a shot, though, from Timothy, just off the post. A minute left, they finally get a goal.
What a clinical shot, just with the top right corner. He waits for that bounce. For those who don't know, if you wait for the bounce, you wait for it to come just off the ground, you get so much more power in it. Using that flat Batmobile, he was able to just kind of punch it, that little cereal box of a car. He was able to hit it towards the top right post, and that's where placement comes into key. It doesn't need to be a crazy passing play.
Oh, also tying it up off a kickoff. The Torment just getting there in time. But you're absolutely right. The placement was amazing. Well, now we'll see if Matt can move that forward to Sizz. Good pass back to A-Money, but A-Money a little bit far forward. Does get a good touch forward, but Sizz couldn't do anything with that. Timothy to Darkfire. Darkfire back up front to Timothy, but Matt there to block it. 40 seconds left for Selfless to get a goal. Trying to get the pass over to A-Money, but he couldn't quite. Matt's going to have to get this off the wall. Drops it low as you saw Darkfire going up. Sizz just trying to get in the way of a clear from Timothy. Back out front, Sizz was ready for that, but stuffed out by the defender. And now Lucky Bounce back on the attack. Darkfire not able to get a control as Matt drops that for A-Money. A-Money off the wall, no one there though to do anything with it. A-Money just trying to keep control. There's Sizz, but he gets knocked out of the way. It's going to give Timothy a lot of time to put that right back down. 15 seconds left for Selfless to get a goal. There's a shot on target from Torment.
We were actually on board with Torment. We got to see him see this. He just homing missiled into this. He saw Darkfire hit off the corner. He noticed that A-Money's on that back wall. Matt stuck in it, and Matt had no choice. He had to pre-jump. He had to hope. He's like, I'm going to jump in the air and flip in whatever direction. He had to pull, like, a legitimate goaltender move. He knew it was going to be a fast shot. There's not much he could have done. A-Money was on the back wall, just too difficult to get to.
7 seconds left. I mean, we've seen goals happen in a shorter amount of time.
That's very true.
It's off the backboard, 0 seconds. No chance for Selfless to pull this back. They could get a goal, but no equalizer as Lucky Bounce walks away with another win. Now up 3-1 in the series.
Again, I know the scoreboard says 2-0, but that game felt a lot closer. That second goal really didn't happen until the last 15 seconds or so. Close game again. Selfless just pulling behind Lucky Bounce. And Lucky Bounce is right now in a great place. They're getting a lot of wins. They were already in that top position. They're really, I believe James Spot said, they need to get first place if they want to really have a true contest and maybe making it to this LAN. And so far, they're off to a great start today with 3 wins in this setup against Team Selfless.
I'm gonna pull a Rollins and be the stat guy. I noticed that there's 2 less saves from Selfless, and they got scored on twice to lose it.
There you go.
Must be something.
It could be something. I can't wait to hear some more analysis where they can really break down. A-Money with 12 ping. Sorry, I'm kind of fascinated. That is incredible. He has 12 ping right now. He must be sitting in the server room.
That's nuts. But yeah, great. I mean, you look at the shots, though, still very, very, very close from both teams. They're still making attacks. As we saw, a lot of ping pong going on from those teams, and that, again, happens when both teams start to play hesitant. They just want to get the ball to the other end, try to get an attack on. We'll see if that happens in the next one if a team will gain control of it, but still very close from these teams, could still end up in a 3-2 situation.
We're not seeing as many passing plays, a lot of hard clears and follow-ups, and hoping to kind of keep the defense out of order, getting the hard pressure, which is a little out of character for kind of both these teams. I know they both like passing, but it happens sometimes when you're under pressure. You're not able to kind of conglomerate as a team. There's always someone flying at you to contest the ball, so you don't have time to really work out those passing plays.
Well, we're going to see in game number 5 who's going to walk away with this final point. Is Lucky Bounce going to take it as predicted 4-1, or is Selfless going to at least get a second point off of this series? Every point matters. Selfless trying to get a play on. Timothy reading that pass from Sizz very well. Puts it back to midfield. Now Torment just throws that in the net as no defender there to stop that.
I don't really know exactly what happened here. I know A-Money came for that touch. He whiffed it, and if someone was trying to retreat back quick enough. Torment was kind of already half towards the mid-mark. Got there and beat out a defender. That was kind of hard to read.
I think they committed a lot to that offensive play. They thought that pass from Sizz was going to come out, but it just did not. And there we go. 1-0 already for Lucky Bounce. Torment trying to get another one off the backboard. Going to go way wide for a shot. Darkfire at least just trying to keep control of it. That's back out to midfield. Matt rushing up on that one. Keeps control. That's going to be in a spot for A-Money to take a shot. He just puts it off the backboard, the sideboard instead. Timothy and Torment trying to figure out who's going to take this. Timothy does, but loses it to Matt. Maybe a little too much time on hesitation there. Darkfire with a touch. That's stolen away. Back from Matt off the wall. Almost on target and almost got finished up by a teammate. What a great play from him, but didn't result in the goal. Only a minute of gameplay has passed by. Now Matt with another one, see if he can get the touch out. He does. There's Sizz to follow it up. Still a shot opportunity for Amon, and he squeaks it by 2 defenders, challenging that one in the air.
I really need to see what happened here. I saw 2 defenders that looked like they were definitely there for this block. Torment and Darkfire go up for it. Torment was there. I don't really know. A-Money was able to pitch it through. Either way, that was a great contest by A-Money, because even if it didn't go in a net, it would have put him in a good place. He forced 2 defenders to go for it. A-Money still angled his car to put it on target just in case, and it worked out in his favor, able to tie the game up.
Absolutely right. Another lot of good touches from Matt coming out. He gets a double tap off the wall there. That Matsamuni, I can say it right. A shot almost from A-Money again. He was hoping for a second lucky squeak right through 2 defenders, but didn't work out for him that time. We're tied up 1-1 in game number 5. Sizz out to Matt. Matt with a good touch once again. Sizz needs to follow this up, get control. Throws it up the wall, but can't keep control. He's backwards. There's A-Money though off the backboard. Shot from a teammate, stuffed out by Torment. Good play from Selfless. They're on the attack now. We spent a lot of time in Lucky Bounce's end.
They've spent much more than we've seen, in the last few games. Usually Lucky Bounce has a lot of control, but right now they're getting caught off guard. No one in net.
Oh, that's in front of the net. Torment just gets a backflip.
But Torment, again, wasn't in a very good place. He was faced the wrong way. He had to retreat the net quickly.
Oh, Matt almost squished that one through too, as they are relentless now on just putting the ball towards the net and forcing it through. We'll see if they can get another one. Sizz will follow this one up, goes wide. Good stop from Sizz. What control from Sizz to make sure he got that block. But his teammates not able to get into the end of it, and now Lucky Bounce on the attack. A-Money missing that. That's an open net. Sizz finally back, but that's a scary spot to be. The stop from Matt. But there's a shot from Torment as the defense of Selfless still scrambling to recuperate.
This first shot placement by Darkfire perfectly into the top right post, forcing Matt to come flying across. Sizz had jumped up, then he pre-jumped again, maybe a little bit too early. I think he thought Torment was going to have a slightly faster shot. Torment didn't get the touch. I mean, he got the touch he wanted. I don't know if it was as fast as he had intended. Either way, Sizz jumped a little bit too early and wasn't able to get to that save in time.
Saw an open net, and they put it in, now putting them up 2-1. Finally reaching the halfway mark. Sizz just keeping that to the side for Matt. Matt to drop it to the front. There's A-Money ready for the pass. Good at setup from Selfless. But now they're going to have to backtrack. We already have Sizz waiting for that, but there's right back to Timothy. Timothy puts it back into Selfless's end. Off the corner, out front, Darkfire, the second touch, Darkfire off the post. What a shot.
This was insane. Timothy he follows this up, he puts it into the corner for the perfect bounce across. Darkfire's already up, he knows it. He doesn't get the first touch he wanted, but he starts angling his car down. As soon as he knows he's going to hit that top post, starts boosting down to just pump it in, making this a 2-point game. What an incredible shot from Darkfire.
Great shot from Darkfire. Now up 2 goals. Selfless still has a chance to pull this back though with 2 minutes left. And they've been playing great this match. We'll see if they can keep it up and not let that get to their heads. Somebody needs to challenge this off the wall. Matt does. Sizz leaving that one though. Matt follows it up. Torment back pass to Darkfire. Darkfire off the wall, but Sizz missing that one. It's going to leave Darkfire another chance to set it up, but he puts it a little too far. But Timothy there to connect way up in the air. Sizz throwing that right back to midfield. We'll see if they can contest this one. Get it moving forward. Took a little bit of time to get there, and all 3 Lucky Bounce to keep it at midfield. Timothy now has a chance on an open net, and he does steal it away by keeping it low, and now we have a 3-goal deficit for Selfless.
This kill touch is really smart by Timothy. Matt goes up, he notices he's off defender, so Timothy just kills it, keeps control of it, starts to dribble it. He didn't have a whole lot of boost, not a whole lot of speed, but it didn't matter at that point. He saw the last defender was up for that touch. It wasn't the hard clear he wanted, and Timothy took full advantage.
And now, again, we see, as I mentioned, oh no, I was going to say 3-goal deficit, but now it's a 4-goal deficit.
The James Bond trigger, no one stayed in net for this. One person went for boost, 2 people went for boost. I don't know, somebody went for the side boost there on Selfless.
Either way, no one was there.
No one was there on net, which is something you really need to be careful of. I mean, even I've seen unfortunate pinches just come whizzing out of the middle, hitting the sidewall, hitting the sidewall, going right into net. Just why deal with that when you don't have to? Just put someone in net and block it.
Well, see though, a minute 30 is going to be very, very hard to get 4 goals. They were playing so well at the beginning. Keep that up, and it's still possible, but they have to keep that mentality. I feel like they may be tilting a bit here now as Timothy gets a pass out from the corner.
This touch from the side. Timothy touches it over, and then Torment popping it so fast to the side. A-Money thought he was going to ride that up the wall, thought it was going to roll over, but Torment redirected it just in time, passed it over to the side. Exactly what he wanted.
Well, we're a lot closer now to seeing that infamous 7-1 instead of a tied game for Selfless, but they can't give up yet. Minute left, almost Timothy, put it in. Darkfire, what is going on? Everybody hitting everything except the ball to put that one in. And now finally, Selfless on the attack. Matt with a good flick on target, but Darkfire just keeps that to the side. See if he can keep control, push that to the other end. Torment needs to get up. Good touch from him. Matt was ready just in case. There's Amity to try to contest that. Good pressure from them, but now one defender left, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Brazil.
It's bound to happen at least once a day. I think we've seen it at least maybe one time. Either way, it seems like right now Selfless is kind of not, they're not giving it their all right now. They might feel a little defeated. I mean, this is a pretty big goal deficit to try and come back from. Either way, I mean, so far this series, they've shown really well. You know, there were a few times where they would get really hard clears, but there was no one to follow up. But we saw it come out of both sides even. Lucky Bounce was pulling that off in some of the games when the games got a little more slow-paced. They'd kind of all be sitting in net getting ready for a shot, but then you have no one ready for a pass-out, and then all you're doing is giving up possession. And it seems like Selfless was doing that a little bit too much this game, and that's when the goal started to spread.
Well, they're still trying. They're still going for the balls. We'll see if they can get at least some consolation goals here as we approach the final 30 seconds of gameplay. 20 seconds. There's a shot almost from Matt. Almost got that in the top corner. Hey, Money, good drift, but a little bit wide. Stops him and gets taken up by Timothy. And now another shot. Darkfire trying to control this one. Does lose it a bit off his hood there. And we've come down to 5 seconds left. We'll see if they can get another goal if we're going to finish off on that 7-1. And Timothy gives it out back to Torment. They just playing around with it now, and we're looking at a 4-1 win for Lucky Bounce.
The 4-1 curse apparently is real that the casters, the analyst desk had predicted. But either way, I mean, and a fantastic series coming out of both teams. I mean, Selfless showed I hadn't really seen them a lot of times being able to bring up some of these really close games in the past when we've seen them live. And this game, they really brought it to Lucky Bounce. Lucky Bounce, again, a contender for a really high position right now. Yeah. They just gave themselves 4 more points, which brought them probably in a really good place. I'm assuming potentially after the first round, I mean, that was 1 point from a perfect victory, so they're probably pretty close to being in first or second right now.
Yeah, no, that's huge for Lucky Bounce to keep them near the top of the leaderboard.
Huge for Lucky Bounce, it really is.
Well, we're gonna see what the desk had to say. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the way they thought it was gonna go. Maybe Lucky Bounce heard me saying I think it's gonna be a little closer and said no, and they ended it on a Brazil as well. We're gonna go over to the desk, see what they had to say. Axel Tass, take it away.
Thanks a lot, guys. What a great series there to start off the day. I know it ended with a 4-1, but if you're just now joining us, that didn't really tell the story of how the match went. That game 1 was one of the best games I've ever seen in Rocket League.
It was something. We'll say that. Like, it was a great game to watch just because of all the goals, but the defense was a little shaky.
Just along those lines, the 5 out of the first 6 goals were just defensive misplays, pretty egregious ones, and more than they were good offense. So, but the end of that was quite exciting. In 2 seconds, bringing them back 2 goals to force overtime.
And it was insane because it was 5-5 through 5 minutes. Then they didn't score again for 4 more minutes, like either team. It was insane.
And I think the star of the first series is probably Darkfire. He scored every single game, he scored every single goal, I think, in game 1.
First game.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We had 10 goals in game 1. But speaking of that match, you people who cut the clips from Twitch, start your engine right now, because here are the highlights, and we're starting with that Darkfire point.
I can't believe Sizz didn't come out of net. Like, right here is actually the 4th goal with 2 seconds left. What a shot by Darkfire. But here, Sizz, you need to come out of net and cut off the angles. He had to turn around way too deep. He could have easily came out and challenged that ball, but great play by Lucky Bounce.
Yeah, but you got to credit Selfless for just having the mental toughness to stay in the game. They didn't let them break it, and then Sizz coming up clutch, getting that game winner.
Yeah, through the first 4 games, actually, Selfless outshot Lucky Bounce by 3 shots. And this play by A-Money was insane. Great aerial dribble to set up Matt with a wide open shot.
Yep, and even though that he did score that was what caused the goal. But really, Lucky Bounce had this from that point on. They were just relentlessly pounding Selfless over and over. And then that Brazil in Game 7, and then that goal right here from Darkfire was just the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it was rough for Selfless. Like, they started diving at a ton of balls. Like 2 or 3 people, plus then not getting a great clear out of it. Because, like, it's fine. Like, if you send 2 people for, like, a defensive shot, it's okay as long as one of them touches it well. But usually it would just lead to like a wide open net for a Lucky Bounce, and then they would just finish pretty much every single time when they had those opportunities.
Yeah, but really, Darkfire, the MVP for the whole series, he scored 10 goals, which was the same amount of goals that Selfless scored the entire series. And then Torment had 5. So Darkfire just stepping up big time. And then Selfless's story of many shots, no goals continued to play out. That last game, they had 9 shots, but only 1 goal.
Yeah, the last 4 actually, 29 shots, 4 goals.
Insane. And of course, it can't be understated just how important each game is, each win is. So huge result for Lucky Bounce, getting the 4 points. And again, all these guys are literally neck and neck in the North American region. And of course, we're covering that all day today on twitch.tv/Rocket League. You are in the right place for the best Rocket League around at the Rocket League Championship Series. Next up is going to be Genesis versus Exodus. I know a ton of people are excited for that. So if you're just now tuning in, you're literally here at the perfect time. We're looking forward to showing you guys the rest of the matches here at the Rocket League Championship Series. Stay tuned, the next match is coming up.